shall we go into a little bit more about the question specifically about foot? So, from your experience dealing with foot conditions, is there like a percentage of like the foot problems that you've seen that people develop or like sort of genetically versus, I guess, problems developed by wearing bad shoes?
Mm-hmm. So there's obviously the genetic component of things that you can acquire, and then obviously there's mechanical force from a bad pair of shoes. So genetically, you can get bunions, you can get an extra toe if you want to do, like just a little tiny sixth toe. And you can also be genetically predisposed to fungal nail infections or even like deformed large toenails. In regards to kind of footwear, so in the olden days in China, or maybe even Japan, they would squeeze women's, because they wanted really tiny feet. Tiny feet means you get to marry a good man. And obviously, hopefully they don't do it nowadays.
Yeah, that was the standard of beauty, wasn't it? It's like,
yeah,
like as if you're slim and you're small, petite, and that's
like that. And so obviously there's a correlation between tight, small shoes to the shape of your feet. So when you buy shoes, it depends on what type of person you are, and if you're female or male, because we might have some male people watching right now. But if you don't want to have any deformities like bunions, claw toes, heel pain, the main thing is to make sure that your toe box is not too narrow, so like not sharp like that, because if you imagine this is my foot and it squeezes like that long term, you can see all my toes are quite clumped up together, and that's not really healthy. You want to make sure that maybe your toe box is square for men. I know men are into nowadays these really pointed shoes, but it's not that great if you have a bunion, or if your family history of bunion, is that can actually exacerbate it. If you're a businesswoman working in the city, you're probably wearing some nice high heels. High heels can give you a lot of confidence, which is great. And it looks really nice. It shows the calf muscles and everything like that. But what the heels can do if it's too high is that it can kind of shrink the calf muscles, and then your foot is at an upward angle. And then when you try to wear flat shoes, it's really like ballet pumps and things like that. It's really, really hard to put that heel down, and then you get tendonitis and kind of muscle pain in the calf muscles. And then in a podiatry world, so in podiatry world, we like square shoes, really thick sole because it provides cushioning. The upper needs to be has fastening and all that kind of stuff. In a business world, it's probably the ugliest shoes you could ever wear. But you kind of want fastening so the foot doesn't move up and down. Okay, if you imagine you were wearing flip-flops, or if you were wearing kind of ballet pumps, you really need to grip the front of the shoes to hold the shoe in place. And if you're gripping, then your toes can claw, and then that can lead to secondary clawing of the toes and things like that. So it's very difficult, because in a podiatry world, we want the best for the patient, but it's probably the ugliest pair of shoes. But I think the main thing about footwear is that you're comfortable. Okay, if it hurts, don't wear them. If it's comfortable, even if you love wearing high heels and it's comfortable, then just wear it. But obviously, we start seeing deformities, clawing, bunions, and nail issues and things like that, and then stop wearing them.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean like the fashion industry is always have this saying like beauty is pain, but to what extent then like this pain becomes so severe then it's no longer beautiful.
And I've been there. I when I met my husband like 10 years ago, I was wearing heels everywhere. I even wore heels to a zoo. And then one day he said, you don't need to wear heels. You're walking really slow. So I started wearing trainers, and now I've got big feet, but I feel fully comfortable. But I just don't know how I wore heels back then. I just can't really imagine. But I guess, yes, I think I lived through it. Maybe I was thinking paracetamol, maybe I was so in love, I ignored the pain. But I agree, yeah.
Yeah. But from your professional kind of side of your brain as a podiatrist, did that ever come across your mind, like, you know, wearing high heels or like sort of bad fitted shoes kind of would cause your long-term sort of I don't know, damage in terms of health-wise?
I think with all medical profession, you don't listen to the advice that you give. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I'd rather look good.
That's a bad example to our audience. Don't listen.
I'm not a bad person, but I always recommend, if you come to my clinic, you know that I'll be talking about like really ugly, like kind of like I just recommend trainers all the time and just really ugly shoes. Like, yeah, wear that. But like, I work in business. It's okay. That's why. But yes, I don't really listen to my own advice. And I guess I was aware, but I was young and naive. But now I'm aware, and I don't have any bunions. I don't have any cold toes. I don't have any callus. I don't have any corns. I do have a little bit of dry skin in the heel, but who doesn't? I'm using cream. But yes, my feet are. I think they're pretty perfect for the number of feet I've seen in my lifetime. They're top.
I could be a bit of a biased sample.